All right, let's go. The lighting has also been fixed. Oh, hi. Sorry. I realized I just kind of like jump into things, not even saying like hello, how do you do? You know, how are you guys? I'm doing good. How are you? You know, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, let's go. All right, let's get moving. I'm doing pretty good. I've been studying for my driver's test to take it again next time. I'll pass. I wasn't that far off the first time. Trying to edit videos and do all this other stuff in the meanwhile, but you know how it is. Vacuumed, which is... I don't particularly like cleaning, but I do like the effects of cleaning very much in my home. Sup, Quart? I feel like it's been a minute. Quart? Quaternion. Quart doesn't really make sense as a shortening of it, because that's not exactly how your name's spelled, but I do what I can. But yeah, today we're going to be finishing the Solve It Squad. Very exciting. I was going to say I'll immediately put up the poll, but let's be real. I have a tendency to forget the poll for some reason every time. Even though I'm like, alright, I'm going to do it right after stream. And then I'm just like, anyway. Oh yeah, sure. Is that on like your channel, Quart? Or Quat? I'd be totally down to like check out your game devlog. See how things are going along. I really should make another one, but it's really exhausting, like edit a video and make that kind of stuff. It's on your YouTube channel? Alright, I'll check it out like after stream. Or later. Whatever. Because I know what people are here for on today's stream. And that is, of course, the Solve It Squad. Which we're going to be finishing. Give me a moment. I just forget to do like a little thing. Alright. Sorry, I just like, I saw like the little, I saw the edge of my desk in the video. I'm like, what is that? I am, it's a Friday, you know how it is. Alright, alright, alright. That's enough of me yapping, I think. Let us get into the reaction. Did I pop out chat? Yeah, I did. Turn off that music. Do a little bit of an intro. Oh yeah, absolutely, Quart. Don't worry. If I see a bug, I will point it out. Hello, YouTube. We're back once again, continuing our reaction to Solve It Squad Back in the Biz. I paused for a moment because I'm like, what is it called again? Despite watching now 3 episodes of it already. As always, the original link is down below in the description. Go check them out. Go give them support. Go give them likes, comments, subscribes. And while you're down there, maybe do the same for me. I would really appreciate the support. It would really help out the channel grow. And with that said, let's just jump into it. Do a little bit of a whoop. Here we are. Back in the Biz.
Back in Biz was a live stream reading event originally broadcast in the winter of 2021, featuring episodes from the Solve It Squad animated series, being developed by Tin Can Bros.
Nice, alright. By the way, I haven't looked into it. What I really should have, you know, during, like, any of the days in between streams, about how the show is going, if it is going at all. That's been like one of my greatest curiosities about like this animated series. If it's really being made, how far along is it? Have we got any news? I don't know.
These are those episodes.
Hold
yes.
open. Interior train car, day. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. An alarm blares.
All right.
Wake the fuck up, you sorry excuse for a soldier!
Slap. Esther, burst open to reveal the point of view of a soldier who has just been smacked away by a blurry Officer Esther. The officer pulls the soldier out.
Officer Esther? What? You know what? Do any of these people have jobs outside of the Solvit Squad? I would assume all their money comes from the Solvit Squad, considering Scraggs quit his job at the FBI to do this. But then again, Gwen is an influencer, and she is a popular, like a relatively minor celebrity, so maybe she is earning a decent amount, but I don't know. And is Esther like a military officer? Doesn't really sound like them.
Out of a bunk and upright.
We got a locomotive ready to fly off the fucking tracks here! Quit flicking your bean and suit up!
The soldier ties a flannel shirt around their waist and pulls a beanie on their head and shoves glasses over their eyes. Suddenly, the scene comes into focus. On the periphery, other shadowy soldiers suit up in a similar fashion. Officer Esther walks the soldier to the end of the car.
The conductors lost their mind. They're moving too fast. Probably that cocaine in our cereal this morning.
Huh? Esther almost certainly did that. But also, what is happening? I think this has been like the most confusing intro to any of the Solvit Squad episodes so far. Hi, Saga. All 4 transcripts are available on the TCB website. That's more evidence that the show is being made. So that's good.
Officer Esther unholsters a gun. They open a hatch on the wall.
Oh gosh, I don't trust Esther with a gun. Not after what they did with the drones.
To reveal a glass case with a huge doobie inside. They
Never mind. I trust them with this gun specifically.
smash it open with their elbow and screw the doobie into the barrel of the gun like a silencer.
We need you to make your way to the cab and sedate the conductor. Pronto.
Is this like a dream sequence? What is...
Sound good, Esther?
As Officer Esther hands the gun to the soldier, it reveals that the soldier is, in fact, another Esther. They nod and smirk.
Okay, almost certainly a dream. I'm not writing it off as a dream yet, because the world that they live in is... it's an interesting world, so it might not be a dream.
Semper Fine, Esther.
The sound of a wailing siren fills the train car.
I hear that.
Ah, shit. We gotta slow this loose caboose or it's countdown to breakdown. Of the nervous variety. Good luck. We love you.
Officer Esther gives Soldier Esther a quick peck on the cheek. The red alarm lights illuminate the entire car of soldiers, all of whom are also Esthers. Oh
gosh. I feel like the world can barely handle one Esther. If there was to be multiple, an entire, like, troop of them, we wouldn't be able to handle it. Esther would be our overlord in minutes. Well, with the drones, they could probably do that in minutes anyway, but even shorter minutes.
We love you, Esther!
Exterior, Esther's train of thought. Continuous. The train barrels through a chaotic landscape of memories, random factoids, and porn. Lots of porn. Esther climbs a ladder to the top of the train, holding the gun in their teeth. Without warning, the train switches tracks, nearly throwing Esther off. In the distance, the tracks end at the edge of a vast canyon.
Okay, alright. So what do you think this dream means so far? Because, you know, the people always have been like, dreams have meaning. Sometimes you have weird dreams that you can't, like, there's like, what can this possibly mean? But in this one, alright, you're on a train, it's going off rails, leading toward nervous breakdown, apparently. They gotta get the doobie. We know that Esther uses drugs to, like, calm their mind, which is so overactive because of their genius. I mean, that's pretty much what the dream seems to mean so far.
The board next to it reads,
just them trying to calm their mind down with more drugs.
Welcome to Esther's endless nervous breakdown. Don't fall in. It's hell down there. Esther's eyes go wide.
Not on my watch!
Esther acrobatically flips and tumbles from car to car, navigating the jerks and jolts as the train speeds by stations labeled People I've Slept With. Oh,
by the way, speaking of this reminds me, a lot of people describe that in a dream, they're when they're like running from something, they feel like really slow or whatever. Have you guys experienced that? Because I have not. When I'm in a dream and I'm running from something, I am the most acrobatic, skilled version of myself that I've, like, all the theoretical, like, parkour things that I've imagined myself doing, I'm capable of it fully. And, like, whatever I'm running from never catches up with me for, like, 99% of the dream, where I'm, like, getting increasingly away from it, easily skilled. Even when they try to, like, back around or, like, trick me, I'm, like, I get away from it until the very end of my dream, where whatever I was running from cheats and essentially teleports in front of me. And then I wake up, like, heart pounding and stressed. I wouldn't even describe those as nightmares, really. I don't think I was ever scared in one of them. Just, like, determined, I guess. I asked that because Esther's also, like, acrobatically moving in their dream. Real forever and always vibes from this episode with Lauren playing multiple characters. I do like how people can play multiple characters, especially, I think it's, oh my god, I forgot his name. The one who plays, like, every side character. They're very good at that.
Dates of all the Dave Matthews Band members, and recipe for Taco Bell cinnamon twists. From the train windows, soldiers poke their heads out to wave their beanies and cheer Esther on.
Whoa, Simone Biles has nothing on you.
Yeah.
Your ass looks tight in those leggings, dog. We're gonna live forever.
Very motivating. Let's go.
The wind whips the glasses from their face.
My glasses!
The train barrels.
I do love the occasional references directly to Scooby-Doo. They're not very common, surprisingly. But, well, not that surprisingly. Tin Can Bros are pretty good writers. It makes sense they wouldn't rely on, like, reference humor. But when they happen, they're nice. There's, like, the whole, you can't say jinkies, so they said, like, I forget what Esther said, because it was copyrighted, obviously. It's like, my glasses. Classic Velma. I think, actually, a lot of the references are made by Esther. Unless there's more that I just missed in the other episodes. My glasses, my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. Brian, thank you. So that's the person who's been playing, like, all the characters over here.
Barrels into a Costco wholesale, flying past memories. A customer yelling at Esther while Esther shoves all the burrito samples into their mouth. Esther sleeping on the display couches.
Wait, that sounds great. The burrito samples? I love burritos. Just like a mini one. Oh, that'd be good.
Under piles of multi-pack underwear. Esther stealing tubs of pretzels by stuffing them under their shirt. The train crashes through the other end of the warehouse in sharp...
Esther's kind of a goblin. Like, they just kind of do whatever, huh?
Shards of concrete and metal fly into the air. Fully airborne like fucking Legolas, Esther uses incoming debris like stepping stones to maneuver themselves into the engine cabin.
Like Legolas, exactly. From Lord of the Rings. I've never watched those movies. I just remember that one scene because I saw like a clip of it where people were like joking about it, about how like, oh wow, no physics here, and then other people will be like, no, he's an elf, so of course he can do. It was very funny to me.
Up ahead is the conductor, who is, as you guessed it, another Esther.
Of course.
They're manically flipping switches and pulling levers with a crazed look in their eye.
Should I buy a new pantsuit? I got a rash wearing one at Andy's bachelor party. Did I jump off the Space Needle that night? Shit, I should add that to my screenplay!
Esther approaches slowly from behind.
Esther's making a screenplay? I feel like a lot of people have like that one thing that they're making. Like a lot of creatives. It's like, I'm writing a book. You've been writing a book for like 10 years. It's like, I've been working on a screenplay. You've been working on a screenplay for a decade.
And aiming the doobie gun at the conductor, Esther's head. They cock the weapon, ready to blow a gnarly dose when...
Esther?
Esther freezes. They grab the conductor's shoulder and spin them around. The conductor has Scruggs' face.
Esther? You ready for the presentation?
What the?
Oh no, it's turning into a nightmare. I was about to be like, Esther? It's always has been. Pew! Oh gosh, it's turning into a nightmare. You have the presentation? Oh gosh. Have you I feel like when I was growing up, I was never really nervous about doing presentations. But that's because at church I would also be at like in front of the crowds. So being just in front of a bunch of people never really stressed me out because of that. Exposure therapy, I guess.
Pull out from Esther's surprised face to reveal a bird's eye view of the train. As the perspective continues to get wider, the train's snaking pathways become a network of firing neurons, and then fleshy folds of a human brain, before finally pulling out from the wide eyes of the real Esther in interior Mayberry Middle School auditorium. Day.
That is such like a cool visual. You know, going from the train on neuron tracks, zooming out, zooming out, zooming out until through the eye. Phew. Just based on that description, I could easily visualize it. Although it kind of makes me think of Jimmy Neutron. It's like, I'm having a brain blast. Which I guess is literally what happens with Esther. Why do I just forget people's names sometimes?
Esther gasps like they've been submerged underwater.
The fuck?
The rest of the squad is on stage about to address the entire school. The fuck rings out in the large room. The kids snicker at the foul word.
The presentation we're doing for the kids?
Whose kids? These kids?
I volunteered us to be the keynote speakers for Drug Free is the Way to Be. Remember?
Oh, okay. So not nightmare. We're out of there. The dream. I guess I should have figured because of the zooming out of the brain thing. But honestly, I thought this was still part of the dream. That they were having like a middle school flashback kind of thing. But no, I guess not. Also, say no to drugs is a crazy thing to bring Esther for. Esther says say yes to all the drugs, as long as you use them. I was gonna say smartly, but most people can't, like Esther.
So I can show the PTA I care about my kids' education.
Right.
Why'd you put quotes around care and, well, I do know why you put quotes around education, but why care?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out.
What? No fair. To be here, I canceled a jam session with my cover band Booty and the Flow, bish.
It's just...
You have a band? Wait, is a cover band different from just like a regular band, or like I asked because is it like fantasy football kind of thing, or is it just like an actual band? I don't know. You have a band at your age, yes, makes sense, but also they let you in the band? It's kind of wild.
Participating in this doesn't really align with my worldview.
Oh, come on, Esther. I'm sure there's something you can share with us, you can share with the kids about substance abuse.
Sure. Sup, dudes? So,
Okay. I feel like this is gonna go really poorly. But to be fair, if anyone knows about, you know, substance abuse, it has to be Esther. It has to be, right?
the thing about drugs is they're lit. And if you do them, you'll be lit too. Peace.
Esther lights a cigarette and saunters out. The kids all cheer. A teacher...
I can't blame them. They're being honest. Esther is being an honest person, and I respect that. I'm not gonna lie about something.
by the exit glares at them.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
And you should use less flammable hairspray.
Esther flicks their cigarette
Oh,
into the
no.
teacher's hair, which immediately catches on fire. She screams and runs at...
Well, Esther was right. Use less hairspray, but also Esther, you can't keep murdering people.
runs out ahead of Esther.
I hope you can at least.
All right, kids, who here has ever pounded a beer so fast that their face went numb?
No one raises their hands.
Good.
Good, let's keep it that way.
Exterior Mayberry Middle School.
They're so bad at this. Did you guys not have like a speech prepared? Anything prepared? You're supposed to prepare for these things, you know?
An hour later. A bell rings and the students file out of the auditorium. One kid, Scotty, continues to bother the squad with questions.
Mr. Skragtowski, did you ever have to shoot a junkie who wanted to stab you for crack?
No, I'm proud to say that I never had to use my firearm in the line of duty.
Bummer.
I mean,
no, that's a good thing, kid. I feel like he's a teenager. He's just being overly edgy. I don't know what it is about people that age who just want to be, like, grown up, I guess, quote unquote. I don't know. Even, maybe it's just because it's been so long that I don't remember what it's like. But even back then, I don't think I was really in a rush to grow up. I was happy being who I was. Mostly.
I shot and revived countless junkies on episodes of Officer Dr. Cop MD.
It doesn't count. They're not real.
It's not the same as actually taking a life.
The squad nervously watches Scotty as he walks away.
Like, bro, what is this kid saying?
Guys, do you think the internet is bad?
No, but I do think that parents should be doing a lot more about supervising their children, and maybe to a certain degree not allowing their kids up to use the internet at all, maybe until they're at least like 5. I would push it a little higher than that, but at least 5. I don't know.
Just then, a screaming man falls out of the sky and lands splat on the pavement in front of them, rather dead. The squad looks up to find Esther on the roof, shrugging.
Uh-oh. Are they gonna have to try to prove Esther's innocence, being like, alright, I know it seems bad that that person fell where Esther was standing, and that person has Esther's fingerprints all over them, and that they were arguing like 30 minutes before. I'm just making stuff up. I'm just like creating the worst case scenario, which I'm imagining is the scenario.
Back in 1995, 4 meddlesome teens and their talking dog Kluber achieved pseudo-celebrity status by solving mysteries that had somehow stumped adults. They called themselves the Solid Squad. Cracking cases in the 90s style, showing crooks crime never pays. But
then Kluber got satanic ritual. Love that. And the pain away. The squad, solve the squad. Get back together cause we're going to go. Solve the squad, solve the squad. By the way, it's interesting in the intro. Something that I don't think I've ever really commented on. Give it a moment. Is that Gwen? Because we know that Gwen has not accepted any of his advances at all throughout this entire thing. Which actually is interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, compared to the like musicals, has Keith shown off any of like his, I'd say, odd charm where like other like women just seem to be just fought over him while also not liking him? It's a very weird situation that he gets in. Because in this, we've had like nothing where they've even implied that she's interested at all. Love it. Episode 4. The Solve It Squad says no to drugs. We'll see about that.
Act 1, exterior auditorium an hour earlier. A teacher bursts out of the auditorium screaming and plunges her flaming head into a water fountain. Esther saunters out behind her.
I'm gonna be real. I feel like a water fountain will not give you enough water. Those like little streams, that's not nearly enough. You gotta go to the bathroom. Give yourself a swirly.
Okay, let's pay a visit to the old stoner haunts.
Interior family bathroom moments later. A young student mom is changing her baby's poop-filled diaper while yelling into her cell phone.
No, Bella, I'm not going to Jaden's Minecraft-themed birthday party. Because last year I left with a bun in the oven. Hey, occupied.
What? What happened? How did that happen? You know what? I mean, obviously I understand what and how, but what circumstances? Whatever. You know what? I don't want to know. You're a side character. Be gone.
Esther swoops in through the door.
Don't mind me.
Esther hits the baby changing station like Fonzie, and a small bag of weed tumbles out. Interior science.
Huh. What a interesting system. And also, there's a baby changing station at the school? Interesting. Very interesting.
Classroom. Two annoying boys are using a Bunsen burner to try and set their farts on fire. Esther slides up between them and grabs the Bunsen burner.
That seems like such a bad idea. Why would you do that? Because if you aren't going to succeed, but hopefully. But if you do, you're probably going to set your pants on fire. Then you'll be a liar.
Interior library. Esther appears behind a sleeping boy and rips a page from an open copy of Crime and Punishment. A stern librarian whips around. Esther turns to the sleeping boy. Shh. The librarian smacks the boy with a ruler.
Oh, I see. If you just pretend that the other person did something wrong, they'll be blamed. If you do it first, then people will believe you more because you said it first.
Exterior auditorium roof, moments later. Esther sits on the roof with their hall, rolling a fat joint. Nearby, a young boy wails as some bullies hoist him up a flagpole by his wedgie. Esther smiles and lights up with the Bunsen burner.
Do you just enjoy the sight of somebody being tormented? I'd feel really bad. I'd probably get involved and then get beat up, but I'm very lucky that I don't think I've ever encountered something so directly.
Magnificent.
What about that is?
Excuse me, are you smoking marijuana up here?
Esther sighs and pulls a bottle of chloroform from their jacket.
That kid was Ruth. Might as well have been.
Because we have a very strict puff pass policy at this school.
Esther spins around. The snitch is none other than their old teacher, Mr. Wayne Farmer, a Tommy Bahama-clad parrot head whose too-tanned skin is clearly riddled with melanoma.
Melanoma. What is that? I've heard of it. I feel like I've also looked up what that is before, but what is that? I don't remember.
Farmer? Shit, homie, I was about to neutralize you.
Wouldn't expect anything less from...
Oh, with the chloroform? My goodness, why do you have that prepared, ready just to take somebody out?
My all-time favorite pupil.
He pops a squat next to Esther, who passes him the joint. Mr. Farmer takes a huge pull and considers the inhale.
This my peanut butter nutsack kush?
From my emergency stash in the family bathroom. Still there after all these years.
I'm surprised it's still good after all these years. I imagine it would, like, become worse over time, you know? Because, like, marijuana is a plant, you know? It's like, then again, maybe it's dried and it lasts a while. But, like, a bathroom is not a very dry place also, so... I'm thinking too much about it, probably. Unless it becomes relevant, in which case, called it. It's not going to, but...
So, you still teaching ethics, or what?
Mr. Farmer exhales, coughing.
No. The kids tried to cancel me a few years back. A few old smut films I did back in JUCO made the rounds through Snappy Chat.
Yeah, that happens. I'm surprised you kept your job. Other people have had their OnlyFans revealed, like teachers, and have lost their jobs because of it, which I don't think is fair, because teachers don't... If you want teachers to not do that, maybe pay them enough. I'm just saying, I don't know. Melanoma is like dark patches, dark harmful patches on the skin of harmful skin cells. Unsure. All right.
Placed in typing 101 until the heat dies down. What are you up to these days?
Well, I was doing human trials for an MDMA-infused vibrator, but now I'm back with the,
Huh? That's what you were up to before? I thought you were just, like, laying... Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense that Esther was doing something besides just vibing in a bunker, pretty much.
The Solve It Squad.
That's cool, man. Back in the day, you guys did...
Esther seems, like, embarrassed about it, like, ashamed that, I can't believe I'm back with the Solve It Squad. if you don't want to be part of it, you could just like quit, you know?
It's some ballsy shit. Kids now just do these dance challenges where they send videos to each other of their arms flailing around.
It's like catch a fucking serial arsonist without an iPhone, you dweebs. That's a challenge.
Back in my day, we had to go up on. We had to walk to school, up the hill, both ways. Every generation has its whole like. Back in my days, which is so funny because I remember a lot of people when I was growing up, at least online. I don't think I talked about it much in real life. Was like when I'm an adult, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna make fun of the youths because of back in my day. I'm gonna understand them, and it's like, now we're here, and Gen Z is making fun of Gen Alpha, millennials make fun of Gen Z. It just never ends. Every generation has problems with the newer generations.
Yeah, appreciate you never ratting me out for selling you kids weed and booze. Must have been tough to cover up, seeing as you're 1/4 of a crime-solving team.
You'd think, but my friends are idiots. Speaking of your astounding...
Also, yeah, Esther was pretty much the one who did most of the solving. Sure, we've discovered that, Scrags and occasionally Keith and others do help a little bit, but it's mostly just Esther who, if there's like a real problem that needs to be solved, Esther. Everybody else just kind of does stuff. Also, I resent that saying all them are idiots. Scrags is pretty smart. He just has an eating disorder.
Irresponsible side hustle. You got anything stronger than this? I think the shelf life of this 15-year-old bud has long since passed.
Oh, I was right. There we go.
Now that you mention it, I could offer you one of these.
Esther puts out the roach on their forearm, and Mr. Farmer removes a dime-sized pill from a sealed wrapper. Esther grabs the pill, puts it in their mouth, and swallows.
What? You want to know what it is first?
Usually I try to avoid spoilers, but yeah, sure, let's hear it.
Well...
It's a squip. It's a super quantum mutant Intel processor. They're from Japan.
Brendo, you are about to embark on a journey that will shatter your soul into a million little pieces and then birth you anew.
I'll take that with a grain of salt. Sting said the same thing before we smoked DMT in a Red Lobster parking lot.
Oh boy. Is this like that, I forget what it's called, that one drug that's like newish, that is like if you take it, it might like do some permanent psychological damage to you and last like a week, and it's like horrific. I forget what it's called. There's always new stuff. Drugs disturb me on a like very profound level. The idea of taking any that isn't like medically prescribed it makes me feel ill.
They call it Triple X.
The name smashes onto the screen.
Because it'll give you a more extreme trip than anything else out there.
Technically only 3 times more extreme, but yeah, go on.
Sure. Mr. Farmer rolls a chalkboard over and begins writing out the name and doodling little examples.
Oh, okay. Get visualizing, guys. We gotta imagine the chalkboard.
The T stands for tremors. Violent, full-body tremors. That's where it usually starts for most folks.
Okay.
His drawing of several teens on a couch comes to life, and they begin to aggressively shake. A cat licks the foot of one of the teens and is booted across the room.
Oh, the cat!
Oh, great. A teaching moment.
It shakes...
This is the power that all teachers have in cartoons. When they start drawing stuff, they start moving. This is normal. Do not concern yourself.
You up at first, but then it's smooth sailing, because the R is for relaxation.
The chalk doodles attempt to high-five each other, but go limp before contact. They all faceplant onto the floor, their limbs reduced to jello. Esther yawns and gives a wrap this up motion.
But don't
okay. I mean, let's be real. With the amount of drugs that Esther takes, none of this sounds that extreme. They took, like, multiple horse tranquilizers, and they're like, this is nothing. This is baby stuff. remember, like, they referred to the drugs that they took even in the original musical, The Solid Squad Gets Back Together. Esther was on a crazy level of drugs, and they were just like, whatever.
Get too comfortable because the psychedelic visions come next. That's the P.
The ceiling above the Teen Doodles turned into an upside-down ocean. The cat rides a boat across while the ceiling fan morphs into a...
What was it? The Solid Squad Flash? Was that the hallucinations?
Kraken.
Cute. And what's the L? Laryngitis?
Laughter. Hilarity that could only be described as Larry the Cable Guy in his heyday.
The Teen Doodles start howling uncontrollably, rolling on the floor in fits of laughter.
Yeesh. I used to look up to you, dude.
So if you're looking to get...
Esther's disappointed. I don't know. I think this... Because Esther's so disappointed, I genuinely now believe that this drug is actually gonna, like, knock them out.
Better done. Triple X is the way to go. Any questions?
Esther raised their hand.
What does the X stand for?
The X. Well, that's for complete and total ecstasy.
Esther eyes him suspiciously.
Yeah, but ecstasy starts with an E.
I
yeah,
know.
Also extreme starts with an E. But let's not be grammar Nazis here, alright? We gotta...
I know, it's fucked up, right?
He raises his eyebrows, tears another wrapper, and pops a Triple X pill in his mouth, staring at Esther longingly.
Esther, are you ready to finally acknowledge the energy that's...
Huh? Huh? I didn't... Immediately the vibes went from, alright, to, uh-oh. Because, I don't know, I feel like, sure, you're adults now, and like, Esther's, like, what, in their, like, mid to late 20s? So it's like, the age gap is less weird now that they're, like, both older. But I feel like people who were involved in you growing up, getting with them is an icky thing that I cannot condone. Age gaps to me personally are already a little weird. I understand them. I'm like, whatever. If you're both adults, it's not of my business. But if the older one was involved in your development as a person in any real way, I greatly dislike that.
Between us?
No, not this. I'm out, dude.
Esther turns.
Thank goodness. Also, is this the guy who dies? I just realized.
Leave.
But we were gonna trip balls together.
Well, so far, I'd say this trip is less hardcore than children's Tylenol. And the only thing I'm feeling is what it's like to be on a Joss Whedon set.
Relax. It moves through everybody differently. Some people trip for 2 hours, some for 2 days. The sweats, the unquenchable horniness, the pants shitting. It's all part of the raw sexual...
You didn't mention any of those side effects.
thrill, dude. It can hit at any time.
Mr. Farmer's hand holding the chalk begins to shake. The quiver pulses through his arm and into his chest.
Uh-oh.
Here come the neurons!
That's my fucking line!
Mr. Farmer's...
No, they stole your quote. That's so sad. A lot of quote stealing in this and the previous episode.
Incredible tremors propel him across the roof. Esther observed, unfazed.
Oh, yeah, that's where it's at. Don't you...
Are the tremors gonna be what causes him to jump off the roof, essentially? He just, like, throws himself off the roof in the tremors? In which case, you probably should have chosen a safer place to do this. Then again, it wasn't much of a choice, considering Esther just kind of, yoink, just like, like that beam. Considering apparently you wanted to trip with them.
You agree, Subway Sandwich? Have I introduced you to my buddy Sam, who is both a submarine sandwich and a lady of magical spells? Haha, what's that, Sam? Esther looks like who?
He looks to Esther, narrows his eyes, then bursts into laughter.
You're right. Yes, it's in the eyebrows.
What?
His laughter escalates and
Looks like who? Lauren? I don't know. I'd say they look pretty different.
a boner pitches a tent in his board shorts. He suddenly stops to stare into the distance.
My God, Esther, do you see it? It's magnificent.
He lunges forward and off the roof, plummeting to his death.
Womp womp. Honestly, again, really should have chosen a better place to do this. Or at least a place that, you know, wasn't so likely for you to jump off the roof. And, you know, I feel like that's a minimum security measure you could have taken, but what do I know? I'm just a reactor.
Esther runs to the ledge and spots the squad below with Mr. Farmer dead at their feet. Zoom in to Esther's eyes. Interior Esther's train of thought, visual control room. A number of consoles display Esther's vision. A group of NASA Esther scientists stare cluelessly.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. This throws off all of our projections. There's practically no way we can recover this mission. Execute emergency shrug protocol.
The nervous Esther cautiously enters a command and Esther
Is this what happens in Esther's brain every time? Like, all the time? I mean, it would make sense considering it's how hyperactive it is, that they have to divide themselves into multiple mental Esthers so they can think. Oh, man.
shrugs in the visual display. After a beat, the entire control room erupts with cheers as Esther scientists celebrate the successful maneuver. They shake hands, pop champagne, and light cigars.
Well, I mean, you successfully shrugged. Is it a successful maneuver, though?
Nervous NASA Esther and boss NASA Esther start making out furiously. Exterior Mayberry Middle School later. Crying children are led away by parents as paramedics zip up the body bag and load it onto a stretcher. Scotty, the morbid kid from earlier, stands nearby, watching with delight before he is ushered away by Principal Turner.
Scotty, why? He's seen too many, dead, decapitation videos. My goodness. I've never actually seen any of those videos. I never stumbled upon them growing up, and when I learned about them, I'm like, why would I want to see that? And as an adult, why would I want to see that?
She approaches the squad. Her cheery energy is very obviously masking a full-blown panic attack.
Principal Paige Turner.
Hello.
Thanks again for coming in today for the kids. So this is really bad, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, it probably couldn't be that much worse, honestly.
Sure, heroes are remembered, but legends never die.
Keith takes a sip from a flask and pours the rest on the body bag. The paramedics rush over to carry the stretcher away.
What is... What does that mean?
Yes, this is not good. An on-campus death could really tarnish a school's brand.
Also, just a death in general is bad. You know, it's unfortunate that somebody died. But hey, you guys could reveal that he was on drugs, and this is why, no, you shouldn't use drugs. You will die.
Hello? I was curious if Mayberry Prep is accepting new students?
I'm never going to hear the end of this from the school board.
We'll do our best to help, but it'll be...
What are you going to help with? He died. He was drugged, fell off the stairs.
Tough without any reliable witnesses.
Esther erasure. I already said what happened. Mr. Farmer was attempting to exterminate a wasp nest with a Bunsen burner. They attacked him, and in the chaos, he slipped and fell.
Gwen bursts into tears. As Keith tries to control...
Gwen's a good actress. Immediately started bawling at this very obvious lie. But then again, weirder things have happened in the world. I would believe it. I'd be like, damn, what a way to go.
Stole her.
Gwenny, it is okay. God just needed another angel to keep him company in heaven.
Oh, no.
I forgot that he's religious. And the way that Scraggs was just like, huh? What are you saying?
Oh. Esther's story just reminded me of that scene in My Girl. I can't.
I gotta say, the wasp nest checks out. With recent budget cuts, teachers have had a lot on their plate, including custodial work. Plus, we all knew Farmer had a little side hustle.
She mimes smoking a joint and lifting a top hat like a Charlie Chaplin figure.
Why the top hat? I don't... Like, yes, we all know about the I guess we all know about the drugs, but... I mean, it's not that surprising they knew about the drugs. It's been, what, at least 15 years, probably including their schooling, probably like 20. I'm sure somebody figured it out at some point, and they're like, are we going to do something about this? And they're like, I don't want to fill out the paperwork. We'll just leave him.
She's clearly never smoked weed. Esther's eyes go wide, worried that this might blow their story.
Yeah. I mean, why does it matter if people find out, yeah, he was like drugged and jumped off? Is because you were technically involved that you don't... I don't quite understand the point of lying here.
Oh, shit. Mr. Farmer was a mime?
Sorry, I'm not familiar with rave culture. Nerd Party one, that's me. But no, I meant that Mr. Farmer dealt marijuana.
Scraggs eyes Esther suspiciously, then spots a crumpled wrapper on the concrete where Mr. Farmer's body landed.
Oh gosh, it's an inside job. They're trying to solve a case against Esther, who is using their giant brain to be like, no, what do you mean? This is not a drug-related accident. That would never happen. I don't know why, but okay.
Crouches down and grabs it with little tweezers from his investigation fanny pack.
Seems like that wasn't the only product he had in stock.
Scraggs holds up the blood-speckled XXX wrapper. Esther gets a good look at the insignia on the packaging for the first time. An eagle with an enormous wiener. Interior, Esther's train of thought. Visual...
Huh? What a weird symbol. Man, I do like... Now that I understand kind of like the direction this episode is going in, I actually really like this whole setup that we have. We have Esther's internal mind, so we can get a view of how they're thinking, what their thought is, what they're planning, against the outside, which is the rest of the Solve It Squad, who are trying to solve this case. I don't know what they're trying to solve exactly, but the fact that they're trying to solve it, and Esther's trying to be like, no, get in the way of it without being too obvious, is rough.
Control room. A NASA Esther sipping coffee and watching the monitors does a spit take and screams into the intercom.
The Orlov cartel is in Mayberry. This is not a drill.
The what cartel?
Interior, Esther's train of thought, engine cab. The soldier Esther from the cold open, shoveling coal into the firebox, hears the announcement.
Well, poke me in the belly button and call me a glory hole.
They take a huge rip of the doobie gun.
Esther's internal mind is an enigma, and we're looking right at it, and I'm still baffled every moment.
For pulling a big lever on the console. The train switches tracks and is now barreling through the streets of Moscow. It passes memories of Esther at a bar getting rowdy with a bunch of Russians, all of whom have the Orlov Eagle insignia tattooed on their arms.
Orlov
Esther
Eagle.
in a warehouse with Russian toddlers packaging heroin. They sample the merchandise and nod approvingly.
No, the kids. Why do they gotta be involved?
Esther in a study dropping a fat wad of Russian rubles on the ornate desk of lavish kingpin Dmitry Orlov, who reclines, toasting Esther with a shot of vodka.
We saw, well, that person had like an appearance, so I feel like they're gonna make another appearance eventually.
Exterior Mayberry Middle School. Esther is shaken, but she tries to play it cool.
You don't know shit about dick, Scraggs. I'd know if that was a Schedule 1 narcotic. This is candy.
I don't know, Esther. This kind of looks like the wrapper for the XXL brand of condoms I use. It seems Mr. Farmer was also the proud owner of Manaconda.
A drug dealer and a pervert?
Is that what you getting from this? Also, don't lie, Keith. that's like that feels like such a blatant. Well, I guess they don't have much reason to doubt him, but I feel like that's just like a blatant lie from Keith. So it looks like a thing from a condom. So there are potential explanations that don't go into the drug cartel. But we're gonna get involved with the drug cartel.
Wish I didn't hear that. Goodbye, Gates Foundation grant. I guess the PTA is going to need to organize more bake sales to make up for the...
No! I mean, what? No. Another bake sale? That's ridiculous.
Oh, right, because their kids go to the school. She doesn't want to fund more bake sales. It's like, okay, fine.
Ridiculous that our teachers are so grossly underfunded. They work so hard, and this definitely won't work for me. We will absolutely exonerate Mr. Farmer of any sexual crime so that no parent ever needs to participate in a bake sale ever again.
All right, Esther, you have 3 very motivated Solve It Squad members against you. I'd say this is an even battle because we have one person who's kind of smart and 1 against 1, even.
You think we can take a look in the typing classroom to see what we can find?
Yes, of course. Right this way.
Scraggs, Gwen, and Keith follow her, leaving Esther behind. They pull out a cigarette.
It's like Napoleon said, if you want to cover up your ties to a Russian drug cartel, you gotta do it yourself.
They bring this...
I kind of hope that they actually manage to succeed in finding the drug cartel connections. I don't know why. I just think it'd be really fun.
Cigarette to their lips, but their hand begins to shake, making it impossible to light.
And now this is Esther's disadvantage, because if Esther was at 100% or even just like 90%, they would dominate this too easy. They would too easily tear this whole thing apart. But now they have the extreme drug in their system.
Keep trying, but the shaking only gets more intense.
What the shit?
Interior, Esther's train of thought, engine cap. Soldier Esther has lost control of the train, which now seems to be moving of its own accord. The train shifts onto roller coaster tracks, climbing up a hill past a sign that says, "Welcome to Triple X. First stop, Tremors."
Uh-oh.
At the apex before the impending drop, the loops and corkscrews and the altogether wild ride ahead is revealed.
Ah, yes. Forgot about this plot line.
I mean, to be fair, there was a dead man. It's easy to forget these kind of things, these unimportant details.
Act 2, interior computer lab.
Let's go.
Moments later, Principal Turner turns on the lights to reveal tables lined with dozens of colorful 90s iMacs. The squad files in.
All right, gang. If there's...
That's the thing I've noticed. Schools, because all those things like decorations inside are pretty much bought by the teacher and like not by the school. So I imagine that a lot of schools' classrooms just don't change for like decades because the
one thing
teachers can't just afford to buy more stuff.
A serial criminal does well, it's hide evidence.
Raid! Keith begins unnecessarily flipping over tables, pulling out drawers, and tearing down posters in his hunt for clues.
You didn't have to do that.
Just be careful around our brand new computers.
Keith, please. If I'm forced to do another fundraiser for my kids, I'm gonna kill everyone in this room and then myself.
You know what? Fair enough. The fundraisers are rough. I guess. Normally, I'm used to that line being, if anyone harms this X character, I will kill everybody in this room and then myself. But different details.
Keith abruptly halts. Esther stumbles into the room, every one of their limbs vibrating out of control. The tremors suddenly cease right before Esther tumbles into a computer. They steady themselves on a chair.
Holy cow, Esther, are you okay?
Yeah, Esther is not currently undergoing a lot of drugs. It's fine.
Yeah, just footloose and fancy free. Ever get a song stuck in your head and you just can't stop dancing?
All the time.
Real. I relate to that. Keith, I'm not going to say anything.
Sometimes you're crazy. They don't know why. Gwen, you know it.
I'm such a baby that the dolphins make me cry.
Well, there's nothing I can do.
Bring it home, Esther.
Esther joins in begrudgingly to keep up the ruse.
I only want to be with you.
Yeah.
Why? You all
They're having such a great time. I love them.
right. Here, how about this classic? Let's just get to the bottom of this or else my job is on the line.
You're a little too old. Sorry, they know the oldies, not the ancients.
A tremor runs down Esther's arm, and they punch an iMac, which falls off the desk and shatters into a million Bondi blue pieces.
Esther, why?
That's so bad. That's actually awful. But I mean, it was a Mac, so it's not that large of a loss.
Why don't you search Mr. Farmer's desk away from equipment the PTA is gonna have to fundraise to replace?
See,
Esther makes their way to Mr. Farmer's desk.
Okay, breathe, Esther. You've been through worse at Bonnaroo. Use that big, beautiful brain of yours. If you were a middle school drug dealer, where would you hide your stash?
Probably the bottom left drawer.
They open a desk drawer to find an enormous stash of Triple X.
Yeah, that's about where I was thinking.
They shoot, they score.
Esther attempts to secretly shove all of it into their pockets, but a massive tremor hits and they toss the drugs into the air.
Look, Esther found a piñata.
A piñata
Thank you, Esther. You're too good at this.
filled with cock socks.
No, Keith, these aren't condoms, as I suspected. This is some kind of new designer drug.
Oh, thank God, we're pedo-free.
Gwen finds a pamphlet.
You know what? I like her. She keeps up the go-to positive attitude. Yes, it is apparently a designer drug, which is very dangerous, related to the cartel, but he's not a pedophile. Listen, you gotta take the victories you can get.
In the drawer. Esther's eyes narrow.
The future of drug is exciting. It's best extreme. It's simply excellent. It's is triple X. Well,
they could really work on their branding, I think.
It's a good branding impulse.
Sounds to me like it's poorly translated Russian.
Esther gulps and grabs...
How did you figure that out, Scrags? Literally, how did you figure that out?
A paper off the desk, thrusting it towards the group.
Vince Hutcherson. That's our guy. Case closed.
Scraggs looks down at a typing assignment riddled with errors, marked up with red pen, and the note says, I expected more from you, Vince.
Esther, you think this kid, Vince, designed all of these pamphlets, acquired all of the product, and managed a crew of local dealers?
That might be assuming a lot from someone who typed the wrong form of there on their assignment.
Did they put there, or there? I don't know.
Meant there, and there.
Oh, wow. All three of them. But see, that's the thing. You never expect the idiots. And a lot of, like, crime stuff are surprisingly really dumb. They get weirdly far despite being not smart.
Vince was also the star of last year's production of Fiddler on the Roof Jr., and I can't imagine anyone who played such a dimensional and lived in Tevye could ever.
No. My role in the squad is to advise you on the market and culture for illegal substances. This is as clear as a proactive user's forehead. I expected more from you? What more? More triple X.
Oh, you know what? Listen. The logic kind of works, actually. That kind of works weirdly in the strangest way.
Use your noggins, you numbskulls.
And generally, they gotta be like, well, if Esther said it, I guess it has to be true, because Esther's never been wrong, literally ever.
Oh, I don't know.
Bam! Esther experiences a full-body shockwave, whipping their arm out, knocking Principal Turner to the floor.
Huh.
Oh, gosh!
Trust me.
Exterior...
The principal is down.
Hutcherson house. Later. Esther, still experiencing intense tremors, kicks down garden gnomes, sprinkler heads, and lawn lights as the squad approaches the front door.
Is this gonna turn out to be that this kid is involved with this drug stuff? If that's the case, that's gonna be so funny. Esther's trying so hard to be like, no, this is all lies. But they're too smart at to be dumb.
Lead of the musical, side hustling for some coin, getting laid in the shade. This Vince must think he's a real Keith Swanson.
I'm still not convinced this is gonna lead anywhere.
Blah, blah.
Oh, but Scrags never doubt Esther. They're right, even when they're trying to be wrong.
Blue, I'm Scrags. I have control issues. I wouldn't be doubting this plan if it came from a man.
No, hey, that's not fair. I never. Besides, aren't you gender non-conforming? So technically, it doesn't really.
Scrags, darling, I know you're trying to be woke, but maybe sit the rest of that thought out.
Come on, Scrags. that was mean to use against Scrags. They've been nothing but respectful.
Scrags shrugs. She's right. Esther rings the doorbell, and Dina Hutcherson, a stylish suburban housewife, answers the door in high-end athleisure wear.
Hello.
No, thank you. We're already Mormon.
Howdy, we're...
What? You get a lot of Mormon, like, door-to-door... You know what? I don't think I've ever experienced that. Like, a person preaching, like, Mormonism. And even, like, when we do get, like, people come to our door, they're, like, usually Christian, and we're like, we're already Christian, sorry, bro. He's like, yeah, we're not the same denomination, don't care, bye.
For the Solve It Squad. Is Vince home?
Esther holds out their hand to greet Dina, but instantly passes out, falling forward into Dina's cleavage. Exterior.
Wait, Dina's action's going, woo! That was so funny to me. Not like shock, like, oh gosh. It's like, get off me. It's like, oh.
Esther's train of thought. Engine cab. The battered train rattles through the seemingly endless loops and corkscrews on the Tremor coaster. Soldier Esther and several other engineer Esthers are frantically trying to keep it on the tracks.
Keep it steady now!
Guys, I really adore your efforts, but it's not gonna work.
The train accelerates up a hill and flies off the tracks above the clouds and right onto a soft mattress. All is calm. Soldier Esther and their crew are now wearing large, comfy AC/DC concert t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
The Goo Goo Dolls song Iris softly rings out. Fluffy clouds form the elegant cursive words, "Take a load off with XXX, relaxation."
I love the mental representation so much. Now just chill. Honestly, this part sounds very relaxing.
Interior Hutcherson living room. Later. Vince, an entitled drama student, sits on the couch scrolling Instagram.
Hey, Vince.
Across from him stands Keith alongside Esther, slumped in a recliner. Keith nudges Esther, who drowsily lifts one eyelid.
Oh, what's the play? Pittsburgh poking prod, Uncle Sam's left hook, don't wake daddy?
Here's the thing, Vince. We all want the same thing. A nap. Give us the names of the potheads at school and we'll pin this on them, and then we'll get cozy and go to sleep for the rest of our lives.
Oh, the old good cop, hot cop 10-4.
What? I feel like they have a bunch of plans that only Keith knows. Or everybody knows about them, but none of them is like, we're not going to do that. But Keith's like, keep the old everybody doesn't know the plan. I got it.
Yeah, I don't fraternize with the stoners. I'm on vocal rest until Seussical rehearsals, and the smoke could harm my instrument.
I don't believe you. I know you're a liar.
Keith, I'm just gonna shut my eyes for a second, so just give me a few hours.
Esther
That's not a second.
reclines back and curls up in the fetal position.
With pleasure. What my partner is saying is, if you don't snitch on your supplier, we're going to do unthinkable things to ruin your career in the theater. And buddy, oh, the things we can think.
Oh gosh, your career's it's at stake. I mean, I feel like any controversy you would get into would just kind of propel your career forward slightly if you go to just a different place, but whatever. Also, like what? Do you guys have connections to the theater?
Interior Hutcherson kitchen, simultaneous. Every inch of wall is covered in awards and photos of Vince's theater roles, like Mr. Mushnick in Little Shop of Horrors School Edition.
Oh, heck yeah. Little Shop of Horrors. I should listen to that musical again. But I don't know. The more of a golden child I see him being, the more I'm like, oh, this Vince is definitely related to all this stuff.
Grandpa Joe in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Godot in Waiting for Godot. Dina sets down a bowl of pretzels and pours Gwen and Scraggs some iced tea. Gwen studies a framed medal hanging on the wall.
Look at that! I was also the recipient of the Melissa Joan Hart Award for Preteen Excellence in the Dramatic Arts.
Well, it's much more competitive and prestigious today.
Okay. No need to be rude. I mean, you're probably right. I feel like the world just becomes more and more competitive for a lot of reasons that aren't exactly healthy. But, like, it was competitive back then, too.
Vince received a scholarship and ensemble role in this summer's outdoor production of Hair.
Scraggs polished
Good for him.
Off the last of the pretzels.
I guess.
Well, Vince certainly seems like a busy young man. Have you noticed him hanging around with anyone you might deem as unsavory or something?
Not that I can think of, and we drive that little Brando everywhere. Tap classes, costume fittings, network seminars. The whole family has really hitched our wagon to Vince's rising star.
That's not very healthy. It sounds like you guys are mostly just using your child now to become famous. I mean, I'm sure that to a certain degree he wants to be famous, but like, how much is it just that you're pushing him to be famous, regardless of what he actually wants? I don't know.
Have all these extracurriculars put the family under any additional financial strain?
Gwen, are you going to encourage little Cam in Paris to follow you into acting?
Huh. Ignoring that question is pretty much saying yes.
Oh, no. I could never share the spotlight with my kids. Plus, we have a little don't ask, don't tell policy in our household. I don't ask them about their interests, and I don't care if they tell me.
Okay, there we go. Again, despite that one episode where he's like, oh, they hug the kids and the husband, she does not care about her family at all. It's just like, oh yeah, that's great. I don't care. Don't tell me again. Awful mother, Gwen.
Nonsense. A mother's place is always right where she's wanted least. You should get more involved. I'm going to add you to the Daily PTA Substack.
Oh.
Which wanted least? What?
Okay, sure, yeah, she'd love that. Now, do you mind if we pull...
The reaction, he's like, why would you say that, Scraggs?
Focus back to Vince.
You will regret that, Benjamin Scragtowski.
Oh, gosh. I believe it. I've never heard her make that sound with her voice. Oh gosh, Scraggs. This is the end for you.
Interior Hutcherson living room, simultaneous.
I already told you. I have no clue what XXX even is. I'm only in Mr. Farmer's class because my parents thought when I asked for more vocal training, I meant vocational training.
This little hotshot's talking like a big boy. Well, too bad vocational isn't a word, son.
What are you talking about? I went to vocational school. It was really good. Probably the best time in all my high school time.
I would know because I am the very model of a modern Major General. I've been...
The point of that song, which I only recently realized, despite the obviousness, is that he's a bad modern Major General. That the fact that he's like... That modern Major Generals, as described in that song, are bad because he can... he can almost tell the difference between a Mauser rifle and a javelin. Almost, which means he can't.
Information, vegetable, animal, and mineral, bitch!
Esther wraps themselves in...
But also, I love that song. I am the very model of a modern Major General. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote suffice historical. From Mary Lou to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm not going to sing the whole song.
Crawls towards the fireplace and begins lighting it.
Too loud. Too much chit-chat. Let's get Hugo with it. Come on, sit by the fire.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a little ding, ding, steam, heat. We'll make him talk.
Keith, I don't think that's what Esther meant. You're not gonna torture this child.
A corner of the quilt catches fire and quickly engulfs most of Esther's back in flames.
Oh my god! My Rent Jr. cast quilt!
bro, don't worry about it. It's fine. Esther's just on fire.
Keith jumps into action, grabbing another thick blanket and smothering the flames. He manages to put out the fire, but the quilt is burnt to a crisp.
Oh, okay, all right. Ooh, this just took it to another level.
And now I'm just taking the other quilt as well. Well, the heat is comforting. And Esther is probably fine.
Portraying Angel was such a vulnerable and challenging time for me. I learned how to drum on buckets, how to dance in heels, and how to stare into the run lights backstage to make my eyes water. It ripped me right open.
That's really nice. Now, who are the druggers? The druggies? I know you know them. I'll be honest. I'm starting to think he might not know anything.
It's so beautiful. You have such a nice, soft voice. Give me your phone.
Keith snatches Vince's phone and dangles it above him like a carrot on a stick.
Oh, should I text his cast that he's dropping out of the show?
You wouldn't.
Or delete
Oh, he absolutely would. Keith is awful.
his Insta post from when he stage door to Andrew Barth Feldman?
No, he's the definitive Evan Hansen.
No, I mean...
That's hilarious. But also, wow, he's such a theater kid. It's so funny to me.
I was just gonna suggest we put on some, like, rain noises or something.
Uh-oh! Looks like someone just tweeted, "Eat shit, you sell out," to Adina Menzel. No one mourns the wicked.
Okay, your musical theater knowledge is both intimidating and impressive.
I feel like that's the interesting thing about Keith. He just kind of sometimes knows stuff. He has so many random information in his brain, which you wouldn't expect because he's such like a dumb guy.
Interior Hutcherson kitchen, simultaneous. Dina is showing Gwen photos on her phone while Scraggs takes notes.
Okay.
Now, this is from the Techie Olympics. Since the backstage crews don't get their time in the spotlight, Vince thought they could compete against each other, and the parents can bet on the kids to win prizes like comp tickets, ad space and programs, and cash. I'll sign you up to sponsor a Techie in next year's Olympics.
Oh my gosh, please stop signing her up to stuff. She's going to murder everybody in this place.
You're so aggressively involved.
Has Vince ever been prescribed any performance-enhancing drugs, or...
These two parents are the opposite ends of parenting, and both are horrible. Too involved, not involved at all. And now involving her is just making Gwen's life worse. It's like, I don't want to be involved in the life of my children. Stop making me involved in the life of my children. I'm going to murder you. It's kind of funny.
You're being awfully nosy. I thought you said you weren't police.
We're not. We're just concerned parents. It's a committee we formed, concerned parents of kids. We got a
yes, concerned parents of kids. Very specific, very enjoyable.
packed schedule of meetings and fundraisers. Doesn't leave me a lot of time to get involved elsewhere.
Is there something I should be concerned about at the school?
Well, a little of this, a little of that.
Just the occasional, drug deal.
This rubs Dina the wrong way.
What sort of host am I? Looks like we need a pretzel refill.
Now that you're out with a person who is on your level, quote unquote, it's like, oh, we gotta change tracks completely.
She heads to the cabinet and reaches up for the pretzel bag. The back of her shirt lifts up, revealing a tattoo of an eagle with an enormous wiener. Gwen notices and nudges Scraggs, who spit takes his iced tea onto Vince's awards.
Now we know. If it's not Vince, it certainly is her.
Forgive my gaze, Dina, but I just noticed your tattoo, and I could have sworn I saw it somewhere else before.
Scraggs pulls a triple X pill from his fanny pack, and Dina's eyes grow wide.
Uh-oh.
How
How suspicious. Also, I hope... they don't know that it's, like, the mob that they're getting involved with. Because if they did, they probably wouldn't have done that, considering if this is, like, the Russian mob. They probably would have been like, oh, okay, so these people know. We gotta kill them. It's the mob. That's what they do. They kill people.
about we discuss some of your after-school activities? Dina.
Interior Hutcherson living room. Keith has Vince pinned in the recliner, aggressively questioning him. Esther is buried in 6 layers of blankets.
Esther is not involved in this at all.
Why hasn't Disney committed to professionally mounting the Ratatouille TikTok musical? Why?
Well, maybe they just didn't think it was that good.
That is
That's crazy. But also, yes, that's it's more likely because even if it is really good, it's not something that they made, and therefore they don't want to get involved with it because, like, bro, no.
insane. So many people watched it. The stream made like $2 million for the Actors Fund.
For charity. It's not like it was real theater. You can't write a show on TikTok. It was.
You are the worst. I hate you now. Epic the Musical, created on TikTok, is one of the best shows that I've ever seen. How dare you?
Was amateur hour.
It is elitists like you who are killing Broadway and stopping my Cars 2 musical from taking off. Give audiences what they want, don't you?
I'm totally on Keith's side here for some reason. Okay, yeah.
Hear the people sing!
Guys, am I lavender scented?
Dina gingerly...
Just the random question that even Keith is like, what? What are you talking about? And Victor's like, huh?
Pops into the room with Scrags and Gwen trailing behind.
Honey, why don't you go warm up for your gender flip cabaret so I can have a moment alone with the squad?
Vince darts past Keith and begins doing vocal trills and warm-ups on the way up the stairs.
So if you care to find me.
Are those real vocal, like, trainings? I should do some vocal trainings. It would probably really help my voice. Did you get your phone back so you can get rid of that tweet?
Look to the western sky. Oh, what a glorious day.
I liked it. You may be an elitist who I hate, but your voice is nice.
When he's out of earshot, Scrags addresses Esther and Keith.
Esther, I think we owe you an apology.
Yeah, you do. But for what exactly?
It seems that Triple X was being supplied by the Hutcherson household after all.
Esther bolts upright, throwing all their blankets into the fire.
How?
I know, it's crazy, huh, Esther? But I mean, Esther knew that, of course.
Supporting Vince's theatrical calling hasn't been easy, fiscally speaking. I thought I answered a classified ad for Herbalife, and next thing you know, I'm a distribution rep for a Russian drug cartel.
I mean, if you were Herbalife, it would have been the same deal, pretty much. I mean, I'm not going to say that Herbalife is a mob illegal organization. I will say they are essentially a pyramid scheme. For legal reasons, that is just my opinion. And I would never say that in a court of law.
I understand your confusion. The Venn diagram of MLMs and drug empires is basically a circle.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Good parenting isn't easy. I mean, take my parents, for example. They were bad.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Gwen said that if I disclosed the location of their drug kitchen, you could guarantee no jail time and my family's safety.
Just as long as the Berrywood family is excused from any and all future fundraising events or planning committees.
Well,
that's pretty a minor concern, sure.
That's just great.
It sure is. Dina says the kingpin of the whole operation is here in Mayberry right now.
Oh my gosh, this literally could not get worse for Esther.
Dmitry Orlov. Does that ring a bell?
No. Esther freezes. We push into their eyes, arriving back in Esther's train of thought engine cab. The train dreamily coasts on a cloud.
Sorry, my eye is like started to itch randomly. Oh gosh. Oh no.
Through a snow-covered Russian landscape as more of Esther's cartel memories passed by, including Dmitry sitting on a throne, his gorgeous wife Annika Orlov on one side, Esther sharpening a knife on his other. Annika caresses a prisoner's face, then slits his throat. Blood sprays onto Esther and Dmitry.
Oh, they're really horrible people. Like, why'd you do that?
Esther watches Dmitry and Annika sleep in their ornate bedroom suite. They open a safe and remove stacks of bills before disappearing into the night. Dimitri stands on his balcony, screaming Esther's name and maniacally firing a gun.
Okay, so this is Esther's connection to the... So, apparently, Esther probably helped them make drugs, to be real. And then afterwards, they're like, all right, I'm out of here. Get a bunch of stuff, get going.
Bam! The train lands back on the tracks, startling Soldier Esther awake. Smoke starts billowing into the cab. Soldier Esther begins frantically manipulating the console, but the buttons now emit sensual noises when pushed. The train enters a
The hallucinations have begun.
zigzag stretch of the rainbow track. A kaleidoscope of different creatures float around the speeding train. A tiger elephant bear, part tiger, giraffe, elephant, and bear, speaks.
Wait, the tiger... the giraffe elephant bear has returned. This is their second appearance.
His words also appear in an animated speech bubble.
Oh, remember how the P in Triple X stands for psychedelic visions? We're here.
This is fine. I'm sure this is fine.
Interior Hutcherson living room. Pull back out to Esther's shocked face.
Oh no. I mean, oh. No, I'm not familiar with the oral.
Yeah, of course.
Esther.
That was such a terrible immediate fail. Actually, wait, no. He said it. He said their names. So I was like, oh wait, did he say their name? That he did.
Esther turns to Dina, who appears as the eagle with a huge wiener.
Good luck. I personally oversaw the remodel of the drug kitchen, so if you could avoid trashing the place, that would be great. Caw-caw!
Esther gulps.
Yeah, we'll do that, Eagle.
Nervously. Act 3.
Now in Act 3. Alright, this is where they're gonna go against the literal Russian mob.
Interior cartel hideout later. A cartel crony leans back in a folding chair next to an industrial metal door. Boom. The heavy door flies.
Is there like a difference between the cartel and the mob? I feel like I'm pretty sure those are just different names for the same thing, right? If I'm wrong, please inform me, like in the comments.
It's open, crushing the crony against the wall. Keith stumbles in, clutching his shoulder in immense pain.
It's so funny that Keith continuously makes very impressive feats of strength, immediately followed by, ouch, that really hurt. Like knocking a person out with a single punch, then being like, ooh. Crushing a man by slamming a door open. And then super pain in the shoulder. I actually really like the dynamic. This is a way to keep him useful while also being like, yeah, he's gotten old and he's kind of weak and out of shape.
Greg stands up from where he had just been picking the lock.
Fuck. I'm fine. It's good. I'm fine. I'm just gonna pop it back in. 1 second.
It got oh no.
Keith, I almost had it. I've been doing lock-picking tutorials on YouTube.
Well, I beat you to it, so pay up, sucker.
It wasn't a competition. Please, just... Keith.
He awkwardly holds out his injured arm.
I never agreed to a bet.
Gwen breezes through the doorway, her phone buzzing with notifications.
God damn it, Dina. You said you'd get me off these PTA email chains. Hey, Siri, set a reminder to turn Dina into the authorities.
Esther.
That's all it takes. It's just like, you didn't. I mean, maybe Dina just hasn't gotten to it yet. You know, couldn't have been that long since you guys got to the house to here. I would imagine.
Esther cautiously enters the building, their eyes darting rapidly back and forth.
Keith, you good, man?
Esther's psychedelic point of view. The entire room pulses with neon glowing edges. At the center is Keith with a rhinoceros head. He's clutching his arm, which is an overextended slinky toy.
Just a dislocated shoulder. Happens like twice a week.
He pops his arm.
That's not a good thing, Keith.
Back in painfully, and the slinky compresses. Scraggs leans into Esther's line of vision. He has curly pubes growing all over his body.
Ew.
Esther, you with us?
Yup.
Yeah, Esther's totally chill. You're not pube man at the moment.
Pop. Yup, pop.
Every time Esther makes the P sound, the letters P-U-H drift out of their mouth like smoke rings.
Wait, that's kind of cool. Ooh.
Normal point of view. The squad watches Esther with concern. After a second, Gwen's phone rings.
Hello? Yes, I did call earlier today.
You know, maybe you should have muted your phone, considering you guys are going into a cartel bait. Whatever, they're fine. It's all right.
About new student enrollment at Mayberry Prep. This can't wait.
Gwen steps aside to take the call. Scraggs unholsters his gun.
All right, gang. Let's maintain a ham sandwich formation. Tight.
His finger's on the trigger. You shouldn't keep your finger off the trigger unless you're ready to shoot.
Corners, no crust. Keep your eyes on your 12, 3, 6, and 9. Esther! Esther!
Esther is staring off at Gwen, a glazed look in their eyes.
What? Sorry, it's just... Gwen is a phone.
Esther's point of view. Gwen is, in fact, an enormous smartphone. Her face is made up of apps.
Honestly, I'm, you know, in that side of the hallucination, it's not exactly a hallucination completely. That's just truth. She's more of a phone than a person sometimes.
We have them doing 6 hours a week of SAT prep. At 11 years old, we thought they were behind already. I'm putting you all down as personal references for the kids. Back me up on this if they ask you.
Sure, I'll just be like, yeah, whatever they said, that's true. In fact, I was there. I was the one who gave them the test. It's like, you don't work at that school. It was a special occasion. Don't ask them to ask a person.
Back to normal point of view.
Scraggs, no offense, but I play Call of Duty online, so I've put in my 10,000 hours leading tech.
While it is true that playing those kind of games does teach you stuff, and, you know, hand-eye coordination that would be necessary for shooting, I don't think that translates directly to real life. I don't know.
Tactical assault missions.
Esther's point of view. As Rhino Keith and Pube Scraggs, even hairier now, argue, Esther peers past them down the hallway. It warps and swirls in a trippy visual. At nods. Now,
the way that I'm imagining this, by the way, is like from Little Nightmares 2, when you go into like a certain building at the end of the game. Spoilers. Actually, I'm not going to spoil too much. The aesthetic is like space kind of like warps, and it's really. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's such a cool
this
visual.
Is a trip. Brat, brat, brat. The letters physically fly into the room like bullets. Esther hits the deck.
Get down! Get the fuck down! We're taking fire!
Normal point of view. Keith and Scraggs look down at Esther, confused.
What are you waiting for? Do you want to fucking die?
I didn't hear anything, Keith.
There's a
No, Duck, I swear that the bullets are real. I swear.
small rattling sound from the next room. It's certainly not gunshots, but it's something.
No, but believe all women, Scraggs.
But Esther doesn't identify.
Keith snatches Scraggs' gun.
Listen, it whatever. It doesn't matter. They may not identify as either, but Esther clearly is capable of using the, oh, it's because it's a woman saying it, or believe all. So I guess go with it.
And runs down the hallway, firing off shots like a maniac.
Leroy Jenkins!
The Leroy Jenkins run failed because of Leroy Jenkins. I'm just saying, you don't want to emulate him.
Scraggs and Esther take off after Keith. Gwen speedwalks after them.
Sorry, the kids are playing video games. What? Well, yes, we try to limit their screen time.
Oh my gosh. Fuck. Bro, it's just gaming.
Interior cartel hideout drug kitchen continuous. Keith closes his eyes and dives through the doors, firing off all the rounds of the gun. The action plays out in slow-mo.
Why?
You borscht-eating scummo. Never mind.
Reveal an empty drug kitchen that's contemporary, clean, and looks straight out of Architectural Digest. Save.
And now you wasted all our bullets for literally nothing, man. Come on.
For the fresh bullet holes. Keith hits the ceramic tile floor hard. Scraggs and Esther run in.
Are you out of your mind, Keith?
Scraggs snatches his gun from Keith and reloads the clip.
Oh, okay, no, we have more bullets. Never mind.
Scraggs yelps and shoots the fridge. The rattling noise stops and a load of ice cubes fall out of the dispenser. Keith.
Oh. For a second, I thought Scrags killed somebody.
Playfully approaches the fridge.
Chill, Scrags. No need to flip out over the ice machine.
Bro, you literally shot every bullet at nothing.
Keith slips on the ice, scattered across the floor, and lands on his shoulder, dislocating it once more. Gwen,
you know, the once a week thing, we're raising the average in this one episode.
Out of breath, finally makes her way into the room.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was possible to have a GPA above a 4.0. Oh, okay. Dina was not kidding around with this kitchen, though. Look at the slab.
Okay, thank you. But also, you didn't know there was in all of your time as your kids going to school, they never had a GPA higher than 4? That is wild. I don't think I've ever had a GPA lower than like 5. Yeah. Is that accurate? Is that how... I'm forgetting how the GPA goes. Actually, no. The one year when I moved, and like my freshman year in high school was really rough. But even then, I had like a 4.6 around there.
On this island.
Granted. This operation sure carries a hell of a price tag. From now on, guys, if you see anything suspicious, slowly and calmly alert me, okay?
Esther's point of view. Rubble from
just tell him who has the gun and who should only have be the only person who has the gun, because apparently nobody else is capable of using it. Please.
Gunfire casts strange shadows on the walls. They suddenly arise and begin to prance around like little gremlins.
Over! Now! Cronies at the south wall!
Normal point of view. Esther dives behind the island. Scrags and Keith, already on edge, rush to comply. Keith pulls an oblivious Gwen down with him.
Gwen is uninterested. She's like, bro, I'm on the phone. I guess now Esther's hallucinations are affecting everybody, not just themselves.
Do you think they spotted us?
Let me check.
Esther's point of view. Esther peeks up over the island. The gremlin silhouettes are now all having sex with each other. A real animalistic bacchanal.
I don't think so.
Alright.
Really going at it.
What, like they're fucking?
Yes, Keith! They're smashing ass so hard I'm not sure how they're gonna walk tomorrow.
Keith is like, you made a joke and he's like, oh god. How are they, when they look over and they don't see anybody, how are they gonna react?
Sure, I can hold. Did you see these cabinets? All soft clothes.
Esther's point of view. Esther looks around frantically. Suddenly, a rainbow shoots out of their crotch and arcs across the room to a storage rack. A little leprechaun hops around a pot of gold stowed on the rack.
They're coming for me pot of gold, Esther. They've already finished off me brother.
Oh gosh, they executed the leprechaun.
The shadow of a leprechaun in bed smoking. Gremlins surround him, tear him apart, and begin fucking his limbs.
Oh, they got a hostage.
Oh, that's horrific.
Scrags, you unload everything you got as cover. We gotta save that small ginger man. On my count.
I'm just gonna let it play for a little bit.
My count!
The squad uses Scrags as a human shield as they bolt across the room. Scrags closes his eyes and cries out, firing his weapon wildly.
Why do you close your eyes? You're a trained professional, Smith.
Plays out in slow motion.
For Kluber! Wait, where are the cronies?
Scrag stops, but the rest of the squad barrels into him. They all tumble forward into the shelf, which revolves with the wall to dump them face first into a hidden room. Interior cartel hide.
Oh, hidden room! This is the second time in the Squad series that we've had this happen. Well, before it was in the musical, but still.
Hideout, hidden room. Scrags, Keith, and Esther stand up from the floor, stretching and cracking their necks and backs. Gwen remains lying on the floor, still on the phone.
Sorry, I missed that last bit about tuition pricing. We're in the middle of building a tiny home for the homeless. The kids just adore giving back.
Ha ha ha.
Keith rolls it.
The tuition is probably too high for you. You who are a kind of failed actress who does get work, but is not nearly as famous as you say you are.
Shoulder, and it's surprisingly nimble.
Oh, did you look at that? Shoulder intact. Up top, Scrags.
You're about to lose it again.
High five Scrags. Pop! There goes his shoulder again. Scrags turns to the room, and his eyes...
That's kind of exactly what I was figuring.
Go wide.
Oh shit. This cartel is not messing around when it comes to torture.
Reveal a room packed to the brim with deadly devices. Spikes, chains, a medieval stretching rack. In the center of the room is an Iron Maiden that eerily resembles Esther. A small note is taped to the front. Esther approaches...
Oh gosh. They're probably in this town specifically to get Esther, like, for revenge, considering they have an Iron Maiden designed for them.
Cautiously, it reads, "For Esther only. We're coming from you. We're coming for you. XO DNA."
Am I still tripping balls, or is that my name?
Esther, you know Russian?
Puzzled, Esther flips the note around. The English letters reform themselves into Russian. Suddenly, shouting is heard outside the room.
Esther, the hallucinations are making it really rough for you to keep up with this.
The revolving door is kicked off its hinges, and 6 cartel cronies file in with guns aimed at the squad.
Duh. And you should put your Ruki in the air if you want to keep your Ryaichki intact.
The squad surrenders, except Gwen, who is still on the phone.
They'll just lead Gwen along. She'll follow. It's all right.
I would, but I'm on the phone with a very prestigious private school that...
A crony shoots into the ceiling.
That totally has my callback number.
Okay, finally taking the situation seriously, considering you might die. I'm just saying.
Cartel holding cell, night. The squad is locked inside a dark and dank underground cell. Esther sits cross-legged on a metal mattress frame, tying the bed sheets into a noose. Keith tries martial arts moves on the metal bars to no avail. Gwen attempts...
I mean, of course it's to no avail. It's metal bars. Also, Esther, it's a little sad that you're giving up so quickly, but also kind of smart, considering you saw that they do have a lot of torture prepared specifically for you, so you should probably... get out of there.
To get a signal on her phone while Scraggs calls out to their captors.
Hello? Excuse me? I'm a diabetic and I'm gonna need my insulin soon.
We're gonna get you that sugar shot, Scraggs. I'm like one Muay Thai move away from busting these bars open.
I do appreciate how, regardless of reality, Keith is confident.
He kicks the bars hard and likely breaks his foot.
Well, this day sucked. Time to take the L. Y'all can use this when I'm done with it.
Esther hangs the bedsheet noose from an overhead pipe.
No.
Scraggs snatches it away and unties it.
Scraggs isn't gonna let anyone kill themselves, even if it does result in you getting tortured to death. We are getting out of here, or at least gonna try.
You think you had a hard day? I was this close to ripping my kids from that public school dump and placing them into a private academy where I could pay my way out of having to raise them like an American. Only
that's the American way. Happiness, more money. That's all you need just to get that happiness.
To have shitty cell service snatch it all away from me. From me! Of all people! A crusader for justice and children everywhere.
Keith
Okay, sure.
Attempts to rip the bars apart with his bare hands.
No good, dude. Goes unpunished.
Interior Esther's train of thought, visual control room. A group of
for a moment, I was kind of being like, maybe Keith can do it. He's so confident. I can't help but believe in him,
NASA Esther stares seriously at the screens, taking in Gwen's emotional outburst. After a moment, one of them begins to chuckle. Soon, more Esthers join in. The laughter heightens, becoming...
Ah, right. I forgot. The final phase of the... of the thing. Laughter.
Uncontrollable. Purple gas pumps through the air vents. Outside, an enormous laughing gas tank is strapped to the side of the train with a mouthpiece secured to the locomotive. The tank reads, "Laughter, brought to you by Triple X. See you in the funny papers." Interior cartel holding cell. Esther bursts into hysterical laughter.
Fuck you, Esther. You just don't understand the nuances of comparative suffering.
What?
Don't compare people's suffering. Everyone's suffering is their own.
If you typed first world problems into a 3D printer, it would just be you.
Esther,
That is kind of funny.
Maybe this isn't the best
Kind
time to
of.
workshop your stand-up routine, okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Maybe I should just help Keith in his futile efforts to try defying the laws of physics.
Hey, I am trying to get us out of here. What have you done today to help?
Me? I only spent the entire day trying to prevent exactly this from playing out.
And the truth comes out. You reveal that, yes, you did know that this was a mafia thing.
Esther rolls on the floor in hysterics. They collect themselves for a moment.
Okay. We're definitely about to die, so I should make a confession. All day long.
You've been high out of your mind. Yeah, we know.
I mean, yes, but also that's not the case.
Oh, figures. But I bet you.
Yes, it's not. It's pretty obvious. They're like, they don't understand how high you are to the point that you are hallucinating, but they knew. They're like, okay, Esther's on some strong stuff today compared to normal.
Didn't realize I was also trying to cover up my connection to the Orlov cartel. Huh?
Esther drops trow, mooning the squad, and revealing the Orlov insignia tattooed on their ass. The squad.
Oof, that's kind of a big yikes. Also, actually no, I was about to be like, I'm surprised no one noticed it, considering Esther sometimes just drops trow and uses the bathroom in the Salva Squad base. But then again, it's only polite to not look at somebody while they're doing that, so they wouldn't notice, huh?
Squad goes silent. Esther finger guns everyone, chuckling.
Esther, you work for a Russian drug cartel?
Worked for a Russian drug cartel. The timeline's a bit fuzzy for me, but I vaguely remember What Does the Fox Say being a cultural touchstone.
Did you... people?
No! Oh, no.
I was gonna be like, probably, but hopefully not. So, cultural touchstone, What Does the Fox Say, which came out in like, what, 2011? 12, 13, around there, I think? 14, 15? So, and this takes place in like 2024 or like 2023, whatever. So, it's been like a little while. Almost a decade, wow. Or almost or actually a decade, depending on the exact year. Whew.
No, just some graphic design, like odd jobs, personal training.
Oh, thank God.
Of course I killed people, you sugar-free dum-dums.
Yeah, let's be real. If you work for the mob, they're not gonna just... Well, actually, depending on your position, they might just let you do nothing super illegal. They do... The thing that makes the cartels and mobs so dangerous is, besides the fact that they're criminals who kill and do all this stuff, is that they're very entrenched into actual legal stuff as well. So...
What the hell are they doing in Mayberry?
So, I didn't really end our relationship amicably. I assumed they came for revenge and I stayed for the business.
Esther removes one of the XXX pills from their jacket.
Too bad I couldn't enjoy this because I was busting my ass to save yours asses. Like they say, man plans and God laughs. And then woman laughs at man for believing in God.
A guard saunters down the...
Sure, man. Whatever you say. But, okay. So that's why... I mean, pretty much confirmed what I said. That's why the Mafia's here. But... I don't know. I guess this explains why... Well, no. This doesn't really explain why they were lying at the very beginning. Or why they were investigating at the very beginning. I feel like at some point, just revealing this would have been a better idea. It's like, hey, I know we get into a lot of cases, but this is literally the Russian mob cartel. If we get into this, we are gonna die. I feel like that would have been a nice thing to reveal at some point.
Stone steps and shouts to Esther in Russian.
Give me a second. They've waited this long. Well, that's my time. It's been nice knowing you all. Tip your captors.
The guard unlocks the cell.
Wait, Esther, they might kill you.
Almost certainly.
Yeah. But you're our friend.
I'll let them know.
But if we knew what was happening, we could have helped you.
Esther stops and turns to Scraggs.
That would have been a boring episode.
True. Forget everything I said. It would have been a boring episode, I guess, if they actually communicated.
The cell door closes and the squad watches Esther walk away to a doomed meeting with fate. Interior, mansion bedroom suite. Shink!
I really hope we don't see the Salvage Squad die here. This is the last episode.
Flying dagger...
It'd be a crazy way to end it, though, if it is.
Lodges in an upright wooden beam in the middle of the ostentatious bedroom. Nearby, Dmitry Orlov stands behind his wife, Annika Orlov.
You're aiming from the shoulder. It must come from the wrist, my darling.
Dmitri, I know how to throw a dagger. Perhaps if you stop manhandling me, I won't miss.
Oh, so it is your husband's touch that is the problem, yes.
Oh, I did not say that. You are projecting.
The door of the bedroom swings open to reveal
Okay.
Esther. Dmitri and Annika stare them down. Tensions are high.
What's up, guys? It's been a minute. How you been doing?
Oh, you guys buy this palatial crypt or what?
It's an Airbnb. But we got...
You guys are staying in an Airbnb? I mean, I guess, why not? You know, might as well take the cheaper option than just buying a whole
Not
building.
a discount for booking the entire month.
Although they wouldn't budge on the cleaning fee, which really jacks the price up.
Dmitri!
That's the big thing about our Airbnbs. They add so many just additional costs, and the cleanup cost can be like double, or like can literally double the cost of the place that you're renting. It's crazy.
An awkward beat.
So, would you care to toss a knife at Pogo here?
Reveal Pogo, a cartel crony strapped to the wooden beam. He's badly beaten and surrounded by several knives that have just missed his body.
I'm good. Let's just get this over with.
Well, we prefer you start with an apology.
Our therapist said it would help to clear the air of past resentments and,
Annika elbows Dmitri.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about your therapy stuff, I guess. But also, wait, do you guys not want to torture Esther to death?
Okay, fine. I apologize for taking off into the night. It was an insult to the Orlov family honor, blah, blah. I struggle with long-term commitments, blah, blah. Generational trauma, blah, blah. Just kill me now.
Kill you? Why would we want to kill you?
Well, for one, I stole tens of thousands of dollars. You've done way worse to people for way less. I mean, what?
Well, now I'm confused. Why do you guys want Esther?
What's Pogo's offense?
he got a bit of eggshell in my omelet this morning.
Oh, okay. Very petty. They're that kind of petty, huh? But I guess when you're a criminal with that much money, why not, huh?
Case in point. Also, I found the Iron Maiden. It was specifically addressed to me.
Oh no, you saw it? We replaced the deadly spikes with Stuff Me Silly brand vibrators. Your favorite.
That was supposed to be a surprise.
So...
I mean, they already found... Wait, huh? Huh?
all this was about... our arrangement?
Well, after you left the estate, things here were cold.
That sensual flame within us was snuffed out. Our marriage was as dry as a milkless bowl of kashi.
Were we angry about the money? Naturally. But would we trade it all for one more night of sexual magic with our beloved Esther?
This is not the direction I expected anything to go in. Okay. Okay, huh? So so this is like a situationship. Actually relationship, unsure, unclear, but, huh. And that's why they're here? Oh, sorry.
Absolutely.
Esther finds the adoration suffocating.
But there's a beauty in the fleetingness of it all, no? We dreamed, we creamed, we loved. But on to bigger and wetter things.
We've tried everything, Esther. Counseling, hypnosis. We even hired someone to get extensive plastic surgery to look just like you. but it wasn't the same.
So we did what any scorned lover would do. We moved halfway across the country and started a business to be close to you.
Even the new product is a love letter to our Esther. Thruple 6.
Oh. Triple X. Triple as in a thruple, like 3 people. Also, your marriage is loveless now without Esther? That's wild.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so nice of you.
They begin to back Esther into a corner near the tray of throwing knives.
You are the sail of our love boat.
And I guess Esther seems slightly less into this now. They're like, at first they're like, oh, that's nice, but also like, I don't really want to be involved in this again.
Song of our hearts, the glue of our gloop.
Yeah, it's just like every time I think about settling down, it makes me want to choke on my own vomit, you know?
Yes, of course, of course. But the thing is, Esther, we are unfathomably wealthy, so our wants and needs supersede all others.
They are
At least they're honest. They're like, yeah, we know that this isn't what you want. We don't care. Well, Esther, got like 6 minutes, so good luck.
Are practically nose to nose
Or
with
5
Esther.
minutes.
It is frightening and sexual.
Well, then, I guess this is a real between a cock and a hard place scenario, isn't it?
A hard place and a hard place.
Uh-huh.
Tell you what, let my friends go, and you can do anything you want with me. That work for you?
Huh?
Esther clutches one of the throwing knives behind their back.
Well, I guess I have no choice.
Esther's not going to actually kill them right now, are they? I mean, they can't. They have to like get those two have to give the order to be like, ah, yes, let them go before you can.
Interior clubhouse the next morning. Scraggs paces on the phone. Gwen sifts through a box of junk labeled Esther's shit. Touch it and die. Keith rocks back and forth on the couch listening to Les Miserables on his iPod.
Why do I relate so much to Keith in this episode?
Yeah, I appreciate the help, Chief O'Brien. Keep me posted and we'll What? No, I didn't see pictures of Mulligan's boat. Yeah, I've been a little busy, but...
The captain, the leader, I remember him. He's such a guy.
Sure. Yeah, I'll check out his Facebook. Okay, bye.
Useless. Hopefully
He hangs
has
up.
some use.
Anything useful?
My old FBI buddies put out an APB on Esther, but nothing yet. You?
Oh gosh.
Most of these burner phones don't have SIM cards, and the napkin notes are all written in code.
You guys?
Of course they are. Oh man, no, Esther's gone. Is that really how it's gonna end? No, it can't be.
You think Esther's dead?
I don't, I honestly don't know, Keith.
Because I always thought I'd be the first to go. You know, like, I volunteer to feed myself to a shark so the raft doesn't capsize and then you can all make it to a shore or something.
Yeah, oh, that's really sad actually. Keith is like, yeah, I imagine myself sacrificing me for all of you. Like, it's kind of funny, but it's also just really sad. Keith.
If I knew for sure that Esther was heading to their death, I could have gone in their place.
Keith,
Oh.
it's a nice thought. But I think you underestimate how cowardly you are.
The trap
No, I believe in Keith. I think he would have genuinely done it.
door entrance of the
Like, yeah, he's a coward, but still.
house bursts open and Esther crawls through, looking like they've been through hell.
Oh,
The
hey,
squad
Esther.
rushes to help.
Esther, you made it!
I am a hero!
Shut up, Keith.
Hold on, just give me a minute.
Esther collapses on the couch.
Give me a cold beer, a bendy straw, and a wet wipe.
They do.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Very good.
What happens?
Esther shoves the cold beer down their pants, cracks the top, and shoves the bendy straw in, sipping while it cools their crotch. Then they begin gently scrubbing the red stains from their hands.
Oh, so they did do it, and then Esther murdered them. Okay.
And the gang leans in, nervously.
We're so sorry, Esther. After they took you, we were blindfolded and put in an Uber. I only caught a glimpse of the license plate once it dropped us off, but it was a town car.
Oh, fancy.
That's it. That's all you got.
I tried to fight off the guards so that we could swoop in for the assist, but I got this Charlie horse at like the worst possible moment.
I'm sure
Also, they probably beat you up.
you did.
Esther, I know you're a pretty private person, but we don't always know what's going on in your head. But if you want to talk about what happened, we're here for you.
Esther turns to Scrags, putting on
I don't think they want to.
a smile.
All you need to know is, I took care of it.
Interior mansion bedroom suite later the previous night.
All right, let's. I'm so curious. What happened? Did you kill them? Did you not?
Hack!
It doesn't
Esther's
seem like it.
Knife stabs away at some strawberries. Esther, clad in leather fetish gear, wipes away some berry juice and carries the tray of fruit over to a large bed with silk sheets. Dimitri and Annika lounge naked under the covers.
How do you escape this situation? Because it seems like they're just gonna keep you forever.
No one could stab fruit quite like you, Esther.
It's far more efficient than slicing if you do it right. Now, which of you naughty bitches wants a juice cleanse?
Ooh, I would, Mother.
We agreed my new name was Comrade Cockvine.
Annika slinks up behind Esther.
Oh, this is getting aggressively kinky. I don't know how I feel about this.
What does the comrade desire?
Honestly, a moon's over my hammy.
Annika runs her hands down Esther's shoulders. At the moment of physical contact, Esther has a full body chill. Their eyes go wide. Interior, Esther's train of thought, engine cab. Soldier Esther and the engine crew crack a few beers.
All right, Brain, what are you guys up to?
Behind them reads, "Mission accomplished. We made it through Triple X." Soldier Esther is giving a toast.
There's no bones about it.
Oh, so this is the moment right here where the drugs finally fades from their system?
This has been a record-setting, fucked up day for us. I couldn't have survived it without my Esthers. Be it the tremors, the relaxation, the psychedelic visions, the laughter, or... Is that?
The crew looks out the window and off into the distance where an enormous champagne-colored tidal wave is fast approaching.
Total ecstasy.
The wave...
Oh, right. There's still one more level of the drug. I keep forgetting.
roars with the sound of 1 million orgasms, mixed flawlessly with the hit ska song, The Impression That I Get by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Exterior Cartel Mansion. Esther's voice rings out into the night.
Here we go!
Esther's final words match perfectly with the first chorus, which plays triumphantly over the credits.
That was such a wild episode. I don't know how to feel about anything. But honestly, a wild episode is just the way you would end it in the Solvent Squad, isn't it? I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Getting together because it's on its own. Solvent Squad. Solvent Squad. I'll see you guys next time. I don't have anything else to say. Bye. Oh my gosh. That was certainly an episode of the Solvent Squad. And the last episode of the Solvent Squad. What else can I say about it? I don't know. It's 4 o'clock. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything all day. I'll see you guys next time.